NFL on the Run podcast. The project is co-financed by the European Union.
Hello, my name is Mara Arvai from Hungary. I'm representing JOPA, Youth for Participation Association from Szeged. Today, we will speak about employability, how different organizations can support young people to get a job, to become enough confident to enter into the labor market, and then what type of methods, tools, good practices, for example, a social cooperativa has, how the student organization can support the employability of young people, the competencies, the skills of young people, what they need to enter the labor market. I would like to ask you to introduce yourself. Let's start with Camilla.
Hello everyone, my name is Camilla Perin and I work as a refugees social worker. Today I want to take you behind the scenes of the work that we do at Studio Progetto, social cooperative that has been active for more than 30 years in the province of Vicenza in the northeast part of Italy, providing social services for fragile people.
Tomáš.
Oh, hi, I'm Tomáš Perme from Slovenia and I represent a student association called ESTEC.
So, I think both of your organization has several examples how you support young people to become more confident to enter into the labor market. How do you do that, Camilla?
So in our social cooperative, we support migrants through 2 different reception programs. And today I would like to talk about the Presai, which is dedicated to Ukrainian refugees. This program was created as a first receptions response for Ukrainian refugees who arrived after the outbreak of the war. It's a space designed to welcome people, help them reorganize their lives, and start building autonomy even before entering more structured services. And one of the first area we support is, of course, employability.
Tomáš.
For me, my organization is ESTEC. ESTEC is a European student association mostly composed of electrical and computer science majors. I think that in this generation, especially as an engineer, when you come to the student market, to the job market, and when you get employed, everybody just expects from you to know how to do professional communication, know how to work, know just to have some competencies that nobody teaches you. That's why we have different approaches in our association, how we attack that. I think we are doing that in 2 different ways. One is to give more skills to the students. So we have Soft Skills Academy when we do that. And then the next one would be to show the skills that you have as a student to the companies. I think there's a problem when you're trying to get a job because you're sending them your CV and they have your CV and maybe a motivational letter, but you cannot have an accurate representation of who someone is, how they approach problems, if you have never talked to them. Here comes the other 2 projects, which is a hackathon. Hackathon is a competition of sorts when companies give a real-life problem to the students that they have to solve. And with this, the companies can see the way that students approach problem solving, how they attack it, how they solve it. They can actually see, okay, they solved it like that. So I think in our company, there'll be a valuable asset because I can see that this person can do it. The next one would be a job fair where companies pay money to come to the university so that they can present themselves.
Are you able to say more concrete examples? Because what you have said, that it's like different cooperation between schools and companies, what they provide to young people, that they can test themselves in such type of situation when they try to get a job. This is like testing phase. Did I get it right?
Yeah, it's like just trying to bring them together. So we have company side and then students. How can we merge them together so that students have more chances of getting employed? So let me present you an actual example of a method that we use. We use it in the project of a student fair and it's called speed dating. Speed dating addresses the problem that I was talking about earlier when the companies have only the CV of a student and nothing else. So we offer companies to come to university and then students to choose which companies they want to talk to. And then they have 5 to 10 minutes with the company so that they can talk. They can ask about the position, maybe what student offering they have, student positions, summer jobs and stuff like that, what kind of work they are doing, what is the vibe of the place. And also the company can have an accurate representation of the person. You can see the vibe, you can see the spark in their eyes when they're talking about problem solving, they're talking about what they want to do in your life. And it's much easier for then the company to decide who they want to put to the next round when making a decision of who to hire.
I think these are very well structured methods with a long experience between the university and the companies that they provide for young people. And this one can be really valuable and beneficial for young people itself, being in such type of situation that they can challenge themselves and try themselves, that how to be in such type of situation, that like really fighting for a job and just to show what are their strengths and what are their capacities, that maybe they can be chosen one day by a company. And this is really beneficial for the companies because they can choose the best ones already, meanwhile they are in the school. Voila. Camila, I think you represent a really different type of organization because you work with refugees. Meanwhile, students are a bit better conditions in such a sense as like being and getting employed. However, I think refugees are facing with much more challenging obstacles comparing to a student. So how you can support refugees to be employed in Italy?
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said. So to enhance their employability, we intervene in 4 different areas. So for example, the first one is helping them to write a CV. Many beneficiaries have never needed a formal CV before, or they don't know how to translate their skills and experiences into the Italian job market. So we help them reconstruct their work history, describe the technical and soft skill that they have, set realistic work goals, and finally create a clear and understandable CV that Italian employers can understand. The second part is navigating job search websites. We teach people how to use major job search platforms, how to read a job ad, what to expect in a job interview, what kind of questions, how to present themselves, and the basics of contracts and working conditions in Italy, which are of course different from the Ukrainian system. The third help that we provide is going with them to job placement and public offices. For many newcomers, accessing public offices can be quite complicated because of the language, because of the documents, bureaucracy. So we go with them to job centers, municipal offices, social services, and job placement desk. This helps the refugees to create their first positive contact with the local network. And finally, we work more into their personal feelings. So in order to build trust and confidence, which is, I think, the most important part, we support them in believing that entering the labor market is possible for them, realistic and within their reach. So to make them more conscious of that and of their skills as well.
Can you share like a concrete example, like a successful story about someone, of course without names, that went through on your organization's support to find a job, and then you can say that yes, their story is a successful story on behalf of your social cooperativa?
Yes, it's a young guy. He's just turned 18. And we help him writing the CV, and we direct him to different restaurants where he could find a job. And actually he found it. And we also help him to continue studying. So we actually sign him up to a university course. So next year he can access the Italian university. So I think this is a great story of a young person who basically left his own country, knowing a little bit of language, but not that much, and manage in 3 months with our help to find a job and to be prepared for the Italian university for next year.
You never know, maybe one day he will participate in such type of student activity as the hackathon, where maybe some Italian company can pick him up as some really valuable workforce for them in the future. Let's cross fingers for that. Well, during this project, you could hear several good practices from each other in our cooperation. Is there any that you think that it can be really useful to adapt to your organization? Tomasz.
Yeah. I like the project that you have with the CVs and how you help students write their CVs, improve them so that the employers, you have better probability of getting a job. So I think that we could copy and adapt it to our own and maybe involve it in our student fair to help students better their CVs and therefore increase their probability of getting a job.
Camilla?
Yeah, I really like the method of hackathons, which I think it's a great way to enhance skills as soft skills as problem solving that are really useful in today's job market. So that would be definitely something that I would like to introduce to our organization.
Tomáš, it is obvious that the university and the companies are cooperating with each other in order to find the best employees for the companies, and this is really beneficial for students. But as you represent the student organization itself, how would the student organization involve young people into this process?
So we are talking about Soft Skills Academy, then we talked about hackathons and student fairs. So these three projects, they are organized by the student. So when you are a part of association, you can gather a group of students that you then take over the project and organize it for that year. Why do I think it's good? That the team of organizers change every year. So every year there's something new to learn, and if you don't know something, you have somebody that was in organizing committee last year to teach you about it. And why do I think that this is amazing is because you get skills like team management, you get skills like professional communication, you need to write professional emails to the companies, then you need to actually go to the company and have that meeting. If it isn't in this setting, when will you practice how to have a professional meeting with someone? You need to manage finances, you need to manage sponsorships and this kind of things. And also it's beneficial for both parties. So you're organizing the event, which is good for students, and then students participate and they increase their value in the job market. So it goes both ways.
This is a really brilliant example of what you are saying right now, because it's not only about the companies and the university, but it's in two ways how you explained that as a student association, you provide an amazing opportunity for young people to make some practice. And I believe that most of the time, the biggest problem of young people when they are applying for a job to companies, that they don't have any practice. They learn a lot from the books, they have a good grade, they have the diploma, but then there is all the time the question on behalf of the companies that, okay, what type of practice do you have? So then in such a case, your student organization provides an amazing opportunity for young people.
Especially because we are technical university. So when you finish college, you have a lot of technical knowledge and practice and you know how to do it. But when you're getting a job, you need to do that job with different people. That's why we're trying to do that with our association, to get that knowledge to them, to give them the soft skills and the tools for them to be then able to work well in the group and then to succeed in their future careers.
As I just asked from Camila as well, now I will ask the same. If you can share any concrete example on behalf of your student organization from someone who organized this event and made a lot of effort to make it fantastic, and then how this person benefited from that in the future. So any concrete example if you have to share?
Yeah, I can actually present my example.
Great, that's the best all the time.
When I was first year in college, I applied to organize a hackathon and I had no prior knowledge to organizing anything like it. I didn't even know what is a hackathon, and I started to organize it, and then there was a problem because we didn't have head organizer. And then they said, if I want to be a head organizer, and somehow it happened that first year in college, I became a head organizer of an event that I didn't even know what the freak it was. I didn't understand. So I had a lot of work first month just to try to understand what I was going to do, because I had then 4 other students that were relying on me to give them stuff to do. So it was on me to then ask older students that were organizing this event to then really give them guidance to then prepare, lead the project from the start to then actual hackathon. I went to different conferences with different companies, and it was really an experience that I have never had. And I think that for me to organize the event really gave me new dimension and new skills that I am using. And when you go first year, then next year I was another time organizing an event. And last year I was organizing a Soft Skills Academy, which I also had a hoodie. And every year that you're organizing, you switch roles. For example, first year I was head organizer. So I was managing the team and I had to help where I had to. Then next year I was leading the corporate relationships. So I was more focused on company company communication, finances, sponsorships, where to get companies, how to present them, or how to give them a good deal so that they will think that sponsoring the event is a good decision. And last year I was a manager for logistics for the Soft Skills Academy. So every year there's actually a new dimension that you can learn, so you don't run out of things to learn. I think the whole process is learning, and I like it. And I think it really gave me a boost in my employability in the future.
And I believe strongly that this experience, this non-formal learning experience, really gives you a boost, because in such a way that not only reading books and learning the different things from books, but in the real life, in the non-formal learning process, it's really give the boost to your knowledge, to your experiences. And I think it will be really useful when you will decide that, okay, now it's my time to enter to the labor market.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations, and thank you, Thomas.